I want to show you this amazing, truly amazing, helpful, game-changing update from Claude.ai. So first of all, I need to tell you that this integration is not in the free plan. So this is for the folks who pay $20 a month and up. It's the best $20 a month I spend. I really, really love Claude. And if you've been loving ChatGPT and haven't had a chance to check out Claude yet, I definitely urge you to do so. They have a free tier. Okay, so I learned that we could connect our Google Calendar, our Google Drive, and our Gmail to Claude. And when I learned that, of course, I went straight over to Claude and I asked Claude, okay, great that you can do this, but what can you do with it? Like, what can you do with my calendar, my Drive, and my Gmail? And so these are some of the ideas that it gave me. It said, with your Google Calendar, I can list all of your available calendars, search for specific events using keywords, retrieve details about particular events, find free time periods across multiple calendars, help you understand your schedule patterns. With Google Drive, I could search all your Drive files using specific queries, locate documents containing particular keywords, fetch and read Google Docs directly when you provide the document ID, help you find specific information within your documents, summarize content from your Drive files. With Gmail, read your Gmail profile information, search through your emails using Gmail's powerful search operators, find messages from specific senders or with particular subject lines. Read entire email threads to give you context, help you analyze patterns in your email communications. I can combine these capabilities to help you be more productive, like finding relevant documents for an upcoming meeting on your calendar or locating emails related to projects stored in your Drive. What task would you like help with first? And then I said, I don't know. What should I do first? Show me how these tools can work together. Give me the prompt. So it gave me an example prompt, and then I just edited it. And this was the prompt that I gave. I said, Claude, I have a webinar tomorrow all about Claude and how small business can use it to increase productivity, efficiency, and sales. Can you search my Drive for documents related to Claude, check my Gmail for any recent communications about Claude, and look at my calendar to tell me whether the webinar is scheduled, when the webinar is scheduled, and if I have enough prep time beforehand. And so that I could see it doing its work, and then very shortly thereafter, it gave me this beautiful report. And as you can see, it gave me the details of the webinar, time and date, with a link, a Zoom link, and then it looked through the Drive and it said, I found several Claude related documents in your Drive and some Claude related emails, which turned out to be really helpful because these were recent newsletters that I subscribed to. One of them had a tutorial on preparing for meetings instantly with Claude, which is kind of meta because it was kind of what I'm doing what I'm showing you right now. Anyway, this was really helpful, and it gave me some last minute content that I wanted to include in that webinar. And then it tells me I have plenty of preparation time. There's no calendars on your workshop tomorrow morning. There's no events on your calendar before the workshop tomorrow morning, so you're clear. And then it gave me sort of an outline of some last minute suggestions for the webinar. So it was already super helpful. So then I decided to go over to Google Drive for the Google Drive integration. And I said, hey, Claude, could you locate documents that represent pivotal moments in my thinking? Use whichever of my integrations that make sense. When you think you've gathered sufficient information, please do the tasks. Use an artifact, and that's what Claude produces. It's like a thing, like an artifact, like a report or a web page or a landing page or a calculator. It can actually create a piece of software. Use an artifact if you think that's helpful. If using an artifact, consider what kind of artifact, interactive, visual, checklist, etc. That might be most helpful to this specific task. Do not use an analysis tool. Please do it right away. All right, so it starts searching my Google Drive. And then it says, I've created an artifact highlighting the pivotal moments in your thinking based on the documents I found in your Google Drive. These represent transformative shifts that have shaped your approach to business and life. Looking at these documents, I could see how your thinking has evolved around several key themes: the power of system and delegation, value of consistency over perfection, embracing strategic dips in business, strategically integrating AI with human expertise, shifting from traditional marketing to authentic connection, finding balance between ship and harbor qualities. So here is the artifact. Which is basically just a report. But it really gave me a beautiful outline of the pivotal moments in my thinking as it reads in my Google Drive. And then lastly, I want to show you another way that I use this in real life. It came in so handy. I wasn't intending to use it for this use case. It just, as I was sort of doing all of this, creating this report and what I just showed you prior, while I was in the midst of doing that, I got a notification from Apple that I was charged for Apple protection. And I get we all get those monthly emails. I just decided to open this one, and I saw that it was attached to a phone that I don't have anymore. And when I called Apple, I ended up spending an hour with them, but without this integration, I would have had to spend at least another hour with them and probably take a trip to the Apple store. So I'm not going to go into all the details, but basically I could not find, when I went in to search just Apple receipt, I couldn't find what I was looking for in my Gmail. And what they were telling me on the phone was the only way I was going to be able to cancel this plan and get refunded for the months I paid. Basically, I was paying double on two phones. One I had traded in and the new phone. So basically what they were saying was, you need to find proof that you traded in your phone. And I'm like, you're the biggest one of the biggest tech companies on planet Earth. Don't you have that based on my phone number, email, all the information, the serial number, the agreement number? Like, I could give you all of that, but because that was in on the receipt that they sent me. And they said, no, we have to see proof of that. So I just said, please search my Gmail for receipts for Apple Care. But what was so beautiful was that they didn't just give me the receipts. This is how we discovered what was going on in the first place. This is how we discovered that I wasn't being charged for a phone I never purchased or a phone that belonged to my daughter. It was a phone that I had traded in that had once been broken and replaced. So I'm not going to get into all of that, but this summary here is what told me that. You see, it's not the actual receipts. It's just the summary. But then I could see what the date was. And then November 20th here, I could go in and find the date that I traded it in and provide them with that receipt, which I did. And then they processed the refund immediately. So I kind of got into the weeds there, but I just wanted you to see that this is really incredibly, incredibly helpful. Saves you so much time. If you like these tips and you want more of them, first of all, I have a AI 101 masterclass that you might want to check out, and I'll put the link here on the screen. And also, I have a membership site called the Front Row AI Club, where we have strategy calls twice a month, and we get together and we share prompts and ideas and learnings. And I basically filter through all of this tsunami of AI content that's coming our way and filter it for the stuff that I think is going to be useful for you in your life and business as a solopreneur, as a small business owner. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.